Chosen one, this moment is not a coincidence. Your soul was drawn to this video because the heavens whispered the same message to you 7 times. The number 1111 didn't appear before your eyes for nothing, and the prayers of 33 prophets did not fall upon you by chance. You are one of the 144,000 chosen, and your presence here is a divine sign. This message was sent to awaken the secret that has been resting within your heart. What you are about to hear are not just words, but divine vibrations that will sink deep into your soul. If these words are touching you, leave your heart in the comments so the heavens can witness your testimony. Because when you write, another soul will awaken. Now prepare yourself, for this video will illuminate your path. Those who recognize the signs of God know that nothing is random. That's why your being here is already a miracle. Every like is a light. Every comment is a testimony. Every subscription is a voice added to the 1,000 we are reaching for. Be one of them today. The twist is that the more they try to analyze you, categorize you, and even control your energy, the more they spiraled into their own chaos, turning the rabbit hole they dug for you into their own prison. What if the very thing they tried to control was the force that destroyed their reality? That's what happens when you enter the world of people who underestimate the power of authenticity. You are not just misunderstood, you are a living paradox, a mystery that defies explanation. They wanted to watch you falter and see you break under the weight of their schemes, but instead they're the ones unraveling. Their minds stuck on you, replaying every moment, every failed attempt, as if looking for a way to escape your unshakable presence. Your energy is more than captivating, it's disruptive, forcing them to confront truths they've long buried, insecurities they've tried to ignore, and regrets that now loom like a shadow over every move. It's not just about being admired or envied, it's about being a disruptor and catalyst for truth and self-awareness when they either rise from the chaos you've exposed or remain. Your ability to stand tall, unapologetic, and authentic has exposed the flaws in their foundations. Your refusal to bend to their will revealed the cracks they tried to hide. They can't figure you out because you weren't meant to be understood by their limited perspective. You are the rabbit hole, an enigma they can't define, and that realization terrifies them. Lost in it is their decision, but one thing is certain, you are a force that cannot be ignored. Therefore, keep going, stay rooted in your purpose, and stay in tune with the energy that makes you untouchable. The rabbit hole isn't something you made, rather, it's a reflection of their own fears and insecurities. All you've done is reveal the truth to them that they weren't prepared to see, and in doing so, you've transcended the role of an enigma and defying convention. People naturally try to categorize and interpret people they meet, but when it comes to you, their efforts lead to uncertainty. It's not your choices that perplex them, but rather the way you embody a dynamic harmony of true traits, unshakable yet approachable, inventive yet precise, that causes you to vacillate between definitions like water through fingers. They alternate between viewing you as a phenomenon to observe or an enigma to decipher. The more they attempt to describe you, the more evident it is that they are facing their own projections, and that discovery unnerves them. Your journey begins here. Subscribe now, and let's work together to create something extraordinary. At first, people are drawn to your unwavering presence and are intrigued by the energy you exude, but as they realize that you operate beyond their expectations and refuse to conform, their curiosity turns into a fierce obsession, and they start comparing their goals to your accomplishments and their paths to your unwavering. This obsession stems from an unconscious fear and an awareness of the courage they haven't yet found within themselves. Every look into your world mirrors the nooks and crannies of their own unfulfilled dreams, and instead of facing their own demons, they turn their gaze on you, consumed by what they can't completely understand or imitate. Being in your presence is like entering a world they were unaware existed, an unfamiliar landscape that feels both fascinating and unnerving. You upend their sense of order, shaking the foundations of their preconceived notions. They come to you expecting clarity, but instead they are left tangled in reflections of their own insecurities. They ask themselves why they feel inadequate in your presence, what drives them to try to define or constrain you, and why they can't just let go. The turbulence they experience isn't something you caused, rather, it's the result of their own shaky constructs, which your existence unintentionally illuminates. The moment they realize they can't define you, they shift their attention to trying to control you, which makes them uneasy. and your inability to conform to their expectations led them to feel the need to change the story they tell. They fabricate stories, manipulate perceptions, and mobilize people to support their warped version of your reality. But this tactic fails for the straightforward reason that their fabrications are insufficient to counter the unwavering strength of your truth. Every attempt to discredit you falls apart under its own contradictions, revealing their own fears. Instead, they fail to recognize how their attempts to diminish you only serve to highlight your presence and actions. Intended to separate or overshadow you, but rather to show their desperation and draw others' attention to the authenticity that they are unable to duplicate repeatedly. Their plans have failed, leaving them mired in their own mistakes while your strength continues to command the respect they can never firmly claim, ready to take the first step toward greatness. Subscribe now and let's get started. What they fail to realize is that your strength isn't forged by the fleeting praise of others, but rather is anchored in an enduring inner. You invest in developing growth, peace, and purpose instead of succumbing to their chaos because your sense of worth is far beyond their grasp. What really unsettles them is your unwavering resolve in moments that would have broken them. They watch as you overcome obstacles that would have sapped their spirit and undermined you. Because of this, every attempt they make to undermine you becomes just another indication of your innate resilience and the invisible force protecting your path. If you recognize your unwavering strength and the protection surrounding you, let it be known that you are unstoppable and untouchable. While others become entangled in their own confusion and fixation, you remain steadfast, building with purpose. Their attempts to disrupt you only sharpen your resolve, turning. Instead of admiration, they respond with jealousy, but your endurance isn't entirely your own doing. It mirrors the quiet presence of something greater, an invisible shield deflecting the weight of their negativity, leaving you untouched and stronger than before. What really sets you apart is your ability to move forward without hesitation, refusing to be caught up in their chaos. Instead, your energy is directed toward what matters most: your vision, your passion, and your evolution. This forward momentum leaves them trapped in the traps they set, consumed by the turmoil they crafted, but unable to escape, while you continue to rise far. Impediments become fuel for your determination. Beyond their reach, you naturally hold up a mirror that reflects more than just outward appearances. It reflects the potential fears and hidden truths of people who come into contact with you. For some, this serves as a catalyst for self-discovery, giving them the courage to embrace change, but for others, the reflection is unnerving, forcing them to face the gap between who they are and who they wish to be without intending to become a reminder of dreams of authenticity that have lain dormant beneath layers of. Rather than confronting their inner emptiness, some choose to react with resistance or fixation, unable to look past the discomfort of self-awareness. Your presence challenges people to remember the version of themselves that existed before they were molded by expectation and fear, but not everyone is prepared for the vulnerability this awakening demands, leaving many unable to face the truth of how far they've strayed. Fear and conformity. This unspoken confrontation is empowering to the brave but intimidating to the guarded. You are anything but ordinary because you have embraced this power. Your unique brilliance lies in the way your imagination transcends boundaries. While others may find themselves in conventional paths and societal norms, your mind ventures into realms of endless potential. You don't just dream, you innovate, finding opportunities and challenges in clarity and chaos. This creativity is more than just a skill, it's a spiritual alignment, a compass that guides you toward a life that resonates with your deepest purpose. It's this visionary force that drives you forward. When others enter your orbit, they are frequently unaware of the transformation that awaits them. They are drawn by curiosity and think they are learning about you, but instead they are thrown into an unforeseen journey of self-awareness where your presence acts as a mirror reflecting back their hidden fears, unspoken insecurities, and unresolved wounds. Going forward leaves those who are still tethered to limitations in awe. They cannot comprehend the source of your resilience, but it's the clarity of your purpose that keeps you energized and untouchable. Overwhelming, making some people withdraw and unable to deal with the truths you unintentionally reveal, while others are unable to process their discomfort and turn their attention outward, projecting their discomfort onto you in an attempt to avoid facing their own struggles. Your energy, however, is a catalyst, bringing them closer to a reckoning they may not yet understand. If you've ever noticed this, it's a testament to your transformative energy. Your adaptability is unrivaled, and it's this. Your growth is not a performance, Rather, it is a natural expression of who you are, fluid, ever-changing, and deeply connected to a higher calling. You defy labels and resist being boxed in. This inability to define or predict you unsettles others, amplifying their sense of helplessness and fueling their obsession while they struggle with their confusion. Constant evolution that leaves others struggling to keep up just when they think they've understood you. You rise to a new level, rendering their assumptions obsolete. Don't just watch, engage. Subscribe to Chosen Archangel, press like, and leave your amen in the comments. Together, we rise to 1,000. Their initial fascination with your presence soon turns into something much more consuming, drawn by your strength and authenticity. They soon realize that you are uncontrollable and unreplicable, which unnerves them because instead of concentrating on their own development, they obsess over you, analyzing every action you take in a desperate attempt to find flaws. This obsession becomes a mental trap that keeps them distracted from their own life while neglecting yours, and in their frustration, they turn to spreading. The truth always comes out, and their attempts to sabotage you only serve to highlight your strength and resilience. Their campaigns collapse under the weight of their own inconsistencies, exposing their bitterness for everyone to see, while your integrity holds firm and their actions ultimately shine a brighter light on the qualities they sought to undermine. They twist perceptions to paint you in a negative light, fabricate stories to amplify your imperfections, and rally others to join their narrative. As their energy revolves around you, they find themselves trapped in cycles of frustration and stagnation, unable to break free. They expected their schemes to unsettle you, but instead they are the ones losing their balance as their fixation drains their growth and disrupts their peace. This is your moment to rise. Subscribe now, and stop their relentless focus on you. All of their calculated moves meant to pull you down have come at a price they never expected. Let's make it unforgettable. What worries them the most is your unwavering poise. They expect rage, retaliation, or a reactive spiral, but you give them nothing. Your composed manner, which is based on strength and purpose, quietly and precisely destroys their negativity without a reaction to feed their chaos. They are left struggling with the pointlessness of their actions, and your silence becomes the mirror they fear most, forcing them to face the futility of their efforts while you move forward unfazed and unmoving, demonstrating that their energy holds no influence over your path. The irony is that their obsession isn't solely based on hatred. Underneath it all lies an unspoken admiration for the way you live your life with purpose, resiliency, and authenticity. This is in stark contrast to the conformity they've adopted, and their unacknowledged inspiration unsettles them because it makes them realize the gaps in their own lives. They want to emulate your strength, but their ego and fear prevent them from admitting it. Stay stuck in a cycle of observing and grieving, unable to escape. What distinguishes you is your capacity to rise above their actions without letting them derail you. While they waste energy tracking your every step, you stay firm, focused on your objectives, and maintaining your peace. Your boundaries shield you, enabling you to keep your clarity and purpose. This silent defiance of their negativity not only irritates them but also teaches those watching from the sidelines that success comes from. While others are stuck in cycles of their own making, you are not only navigating life. You are also acting as a catalyst for those around you. Without saying a word, your actions and authenticity stir something in others, forcing them to reevaluate their paths and choices. Your ability to stay focused and stay aligned with your vision that is unshaken by the noise around you and that truth is what drives you most deeply. It's not an easy role to carry because growth often involves discomfort, but it's necessary for transformation. Every attempt to bring you down has only strengthened your purpose, transforming hardship into fuel for your evolution like a flame that brightens in the wind. You've taken the challenges you faced and turned them into sources of power. This isn't just survival, it's mastery. The negativity directed at you has become a part of your journey, giving your story depth and strength. You've shown that every setback can become a stepping stone and every betrayal can be transformed into wisdom by refusing to break. By doing this, you've demonstrated to both them and yourself that your strength knows no bounds and that your foundation isn't based on ephemeral opinions or societal expectations, but rather on a connection to something much greater. While others see you through the skewed lens of their envy or misconceptions, you hold yourself to a standard rooted in clarity and purpose. This change in perspective creates a divide where they stay focused on comparison and judgment while you rise above them, Continuously changing under the guidance of a deep sense of purpose, you've broken free from cycles of conflict and distraction and are now concentrating on growth and transformation. Each challenge has made you more resilient and aware than before, and as they repeat old patterns, you've embraced change, opening doors to opportunities that align with your higher path. Your journey isn't finished, but the mastery you've attained is unquestionably inspiring and perplexing, inspiring and confusing those who once attempted to control your narrative and their attempts to harm you. The universe functions on the principles of truth and justice, rewarding integrity while exposing deception. Your life is an example of this balance as they deal with the fallout of their choices and you enter a phase of abundance fueled by the energy. Only redirected energy in your favor, fueling your progress while leaving them entangled in their confusion. Your ability to adapt and thrive reveals the power of moving forward with intention, untouchable by the negativity that others cling to. Since discomfort frequently precedes evolution, your presence acts as a mirror, appending their complacency and pushing them toward awareness. Their attempt to use what they intended as harm against you has only accelerated your progress, while their obsession serves a larger purpose they are still unable to understand. Without realizing it, their actions become the catalyst for their own transformation by forcing them to face their shortcomings. Behavior, but it reframes their obsession as a part of a greater spiritual process in which you are a key player. What they fail to see is that you are not traveling this path alone. You are surrounded by an invisible force that empowers and protects you. This divine alignment protects you from their negative thoughts while strengthening your ability to stay focused and steady. Their attempts to undermine you eventually fail as they unwittingly battle forces they cannot comprehend. The path ahead of you is illuminated with purpose and clarity, but your journey is still unfolding. Every experience you've had, whether positive or challenging, has deepened your character and prepared you for what lies ahead. You are here to thrive, to inspire, and to demonstrate through action what alignment and authenticity truly look like. As you continue to rise, those who once attempted to trap you in their chaos remain trapped in the mess they created. This higher energy keeps you resilient and untouchable no matter how intense their fixation is. When someone targets someone who is protected by a higher force, the balance eventually shifts. What appeared to be calculated plans against you were nothing more than seeds of their own reckoning. They underestimated the strength of your purpose and failed to see that you move with divine protection. Their attempts to derail you only exposed their fears and insecurities, not your truth. Your potential is waiting. Unlock it with us, subscribe now, and begin your transformation. Failed schemes. It's a realization that they battled against something much stronger than they realized. The consequences of their actions have made them face realities they've long evaded. You've been the catalyst for their self-awareness, forcing them to examine the aspects of themselves they've ignored. Whether they decide to change or stay stuck in their patterns is up to them, but one thing is for sure. Their encounter with you has set in motion changes that cannot be undone. Become a force for change in their lives that they may never fully understand but will always feel. One of the hardest things for them to understand has been the necessity of humility. They came to you thinking they could outmaneuver, overshadow, or dim your light, only to be confronted by the truth of your unwavering strength. Every time they failed to undermine you, it served as a stark reminder of their own weaknesses. These moments weren't meant to embarrass them but rather to help them understand the importance of respect for. They have been forced to face a universal truth. Those who are aligned with a higher purpose are not easily deterred. For every attempt they made to dare or fail you, an unseen power worked in your favor, unraveling their plans and leaving them perplexed as you continue to thrive through their failed schemes. This is because their encounter with you has changed their approach not only toward you but toward life itself. Your journey is unquestionably proof that divine alignment creates an unstoppable momentum. The same people who once questioned or criticized you are now reconsidering their views as they see how gracefully you've handled hardship and start to see the sincerity in your actions. This change in perception isn't just about validation, it's about how your fortitude and integrity inspire a wider understanding of what it means to live with purpose and truth. This transformation isn't just about admiration, it's about finally seeing the truth. We are building a family of light, the first 1,000 souls. Be part of it. Subscribe to Chosen Archangel, press like, and leave your word in the comments. Remorse has become their most persistent teacher, forcing them to consider the energy they wasted trying to bring you down, the bonds they broke in the process, and the opportunities they missed while consumed by fixation. This regret is not an end, but rather a catalyst that challenges their prior actions. Slowly but surely, the veil is lifting and others are starting to recognize the essence of who you are, a testament to resilience, growth, and unwavering authenticity. Through your strength and ability to rise above their attempts to harm you, you've given them an unquestionable example of what alignment with one's true self can achieve. This is not about offering salvation, but about embodying a different way of being. What they perceive as punishment is actually an invitation for evolution, giving them the chance to rebuild, reassess, and heal from the very behaviors that led them there, whether consciously or unconsciously. You have become a living example of the strength of resilience and self-mastery. If they decide to accept the lessons your presence has unintentionally given them, they have the chance to embark on a journey of self-discovery and renewal. The balance of power has changed, and they can sense what once gave. This is the beginning of their transformation process, and even though they may not express it, the seeds you planted are already taking root and offering a path forward they never saw before. You move forward with clarity, no longer entangled in their projections, but standing firm in your truth. You are not the enigma they imagined, rather, you are a catalyst, a reflection of what they fear. Their sense of control has crumbled, leaving them to struggle with the realization that their focus on you was always a mirror of their own inner struggles. The attention has turned inward, and they must decide whether to continue to be bound by their insecurities or start the difficult work of transformation. And what they strive for, your job is not to fix or save them, but to illuminate them through your actions. You push hidden truths to the surface, forcing them to face their shadows as they spiral into their own web, allowing you to rise unfazed. Your growth and resilience are driven by an unwavering connection to your purpose and the protection of forces bigger than yourself. Let your light continue to guide as a reminder that authenticity is what makes you strong and that truth has the ability to. Your path stays clear, regardless of whether they decide to learn from their experience. Shine without fear, knowing that your narrative encourages others to discover their own truths and accept their higher purpose. Chosen one, remember this, heaven never sends a word without purpose. If this message has stirred your spirit, let it shine brighter. Press like so the light spreads to others walking in darkness. Subscribe to Chosen Archangel so you never miss the next divine revelation. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Your testimony may be the very spark that awakens another soul. Until we meet again, stay covered by the wings of heaven and walk boldly in your calling.